shelters, he generally spends his days begging and his nights sleeping on the streets and not in a state-funded emergency shelter.
Recently someone stole my tent. Then when I was sleeping on a mattress, someone kicked me in the head, so they could grab the bag my head was resting on. So life on the street is very hard. But in those emergency shelters, you also get attacked. You get lots of drunkards there. And even if you don't look for trouble, you find it. It's not safe there.
The debate about how to deal with the 140,000 people officially homeless in France was reopened this summer when the newly elected president made a surprise announcement.
La première bataille, c'est de loger tout le monde dignement.
The first battle is to house everyone in a dignified manner. By the end of the year, I want no more women and men in the streets, in the woods, lost.
Macron suggested he could achieve this by providing more emergency shelters and better follow-up by social services. But groups who work with homeless people say they've not seen evidence of either. They say there are now more rough sleepers than ever, partly due to an increase in the number of refugees camped out in places like the Canal Saint-Martin. Scenes like this have become commonplace across the French capital, and there are an estimated 30,000 people sleeping rough in the city and its surroundings. And although it's hard to believe, homeless charities say things are actually getting worse. Critics argue that the government could create thousands of extra beds for homeless people right away, using existing facilities.
Il est possible d'ouvrir des ailes d'hôpitaux qui sont vides.
It's possible to open hospital wings that are currently empty. They've got heating and sanitation. They can be converted quite easily. There are also unoccupied army barracks that you could use. Then there's the question of financing the organisations that look after the homeless and run the premises.
Whatever the reality, it's clear winter brings extra hardships for rough sleepers. According to one charity, 400 homeless people have died this year alone, and the average age was 48. For Olivier, who became homeless this year after a family crisis, those figures come as no surprise. There are lots of people who are ill and who don't get to hospital, he says, either because they can't afford to or because they don't want to be treated. The new year should mean a new start for Tony. He's been offered work fundraising for a charity, and he hopes to rent a flat with a friend, but it's